President-elect Trump addressed Elon Musk's growing political influence, dismissing the notion that Trump had ceded the presidency to the billionaire. The comments came after a whirlwind week in Washington, where Musk helped derail a bipartisan plan to fund the government. Here to discuss is E.J. Dionne Jr., Senior Fellow at the Brookings Institution and a Washington Post columnist. E.J., always a pleasure to get some of your time here. What is the political influence of Elon Musk shaping up to be even ahead of the inauguration?
First of all, happy holidays, Brad and Brian. And I always learn new things on this show. I love the idea of a Santa Claus rally, so I'm looking forward to that. I think what you saw this weekend is over the last week is how complicated Musk's engagement with Trump is going to be. He came out against, so let's go back for a moment. Speaker Mike Johnson, the Republican speaker, made a deal with Democrats to avoid a shutdown, avoid controversy, extend government funding into next year, into March. And in order to put a bunch of things that Congress wanted done before the end of the year, they put together this big bill. A lot of it was bipartisan stuff. Some Republicans didn't like all of that, but it looked like it was en route to passage. And President-elect Trump seemed to deal with it with benign neglect. He sort of talked to Johnson, but seemed to be ready to let it through. Then bang, early in the morning, Elon Musk goes on X and starts blasting the deal. 100 tweets, some of them containing falsehoods, saying it's an outrage, you can't do this. Later in the day, Trump looks like he comes around to the Musk position, and they blow up the deal. Then Musk says, then Trump says, okay, what I really want is to extend the debt ceiling, which expires next year, because I don't want to have to sign an increase in the debt ceiling. I want Biden to do it. And of course, he wants to do that because he wants to pass a lot of tax cuts next year, a lot of them for the wealthy. Lo and behold, 38 Republicans, very conservative Republicans, say we're not going to vote for Trump's deal because we don't want to increase the debt ceiling. And so they ended up going back to something closer to the original deal. They knocked some of the other stuff that they had put in the bill out. A few of those provisions were later passed by the Senate because they had already gotten through the House. And you had this catastrophe. Now what you have is Donald Trump going out there online and to a conservative group and basically having to say, I'm the president, Elon Musk isn't the president. And of course, Democrats are having a field day with Musk's influence. They started calling him President-elect Musk. And I think you've seen, A, some of the chaos we're going to see next year, and B, a really complicated public relationship between Trump and Musk.
E.J., are we getting the signs here that Elon Musk is not going to be good for investors next year? I think there are a bunch of things that may be difficult for investors next year. In the Trump program, to begin with, the tariffs are not popular among a lot of businesses. There are some businesses that like them, but there's worry about that. But there's also worry that some of Trump's proposals, like the tariffs, like the roundups to deport people, will be bad with inflation. And so I'm sure you talked about it a lot earlier last week, that the Fed has pulled back a bit on cutting interest rates. And then Musk's unpredictability, or what looks like his unpredictability, markets don't, as you know better than I, markets don't like unpredictability. A fight between Trump and Musk will not be great for government. So, yeah, I think it could be challenging.
You know, I'll go one step further here, E.J., especially as we think about the areas of the market, the 7 names in the market that have outperformed in the Mag 7, and the themes that Musk has intertwined within his own businesses for all of those companies, whether it's XAI or whether it's social media in X or Twitter, and then you have to think about as well as the overflow of Tesla itself being one of those Mag 7 names in the energy vehicle or electric vehicle landscape. And then I'll round it out with AI as well here. I mean, as we think about all of those things, it seems like there could be a hit to the Mag 7 if Trump is listening more to Musk, who is trying to benefit himself more than the broader market and the competitive landscape.
Democrats raised this issue of what are Musk's interests directly in this spending fight. There was one of the provisions that got dropped out of the final bill had various restrictions on outward bound investment to China. Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro got up and said, did we kill this whole bill just to get rid of that provision because Elon Musk wanted it out there? And Musk was furious and put up on X a tweet that I'm still call them tweets that said, Rosa DeLauro should be expelled from Congress. So you're going to have a lot of this. I think that if Musk wants to play this big in politics, he's going to be under a lot of pressure to do a lot of disclosure so people understand, where is this a matter of public policy and where is this a matter of his own interests? And I wouldn't know what that's like. But when you're that rich, you have a lot of interests in a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess me and Brad can relate. No, absolutely, definitely not. EJ,
yeah, I'm a Nordstrom Rack guy more too.
Yeah, well, I like that tie. You could clearly tell that might be coming from Nordstrom. All right, E.J. Dionne Jr., Senior Fellow at the Brookings Institution and a Washington Post columnist. Good to see you. Happy holidays.